Hey guys, how's it going? It's Target here. Welcome to another episode, or actually not another episode. It's another episode of Be a GM, but here we are. The team that everybody voted for and I was quite surprised, but the Chicago Blackhawks, that's right. So the first episode that we're going to be doing here is actually analyzing the team that the Chicago Blackhawks have. Now, obviously, the question that I normally ask is, we could either be one of three teams. One, a playoff team. Two, a fringe team, a team that could be in or out just as easily, or a team that is out for sure. We would call that a rebuilder, okay? Now, I think everybody pretty much knows that the Chicago Blackhawks are indeed a playoff team. There is no question of this, just based on the players that they have in their system, okay? So we're going to go look first at GM options. We're going to go to... We'll look at contracts, all right? We're going to look at contracts, and we're going to see who we have in the system, in the main roster, and in our farm team that's going to be able to jump up. All right, so with the last roster update at the end of March, they changed a lot of player types. So you see Jonathan Toews is now a two-way forward instead of a playmaker, okay? So let's go through here. We'll take a look at the NHL roster first, and then we'll take a look at the AHL to see exactly what we have for prospects, okay? So, Jonathan Toews. He's 25 years old, 92 overall, two-way forward center with 95 faceoffs. His offensive and defensive awareness are both at 92. He's got an okay shot, 89 accuracy and 86 power, good passing and puck control, and we all know that Jonathan Toews gets to be about a 94 or a 95 overall centerman. And at 25 years old, Jonathan Toews fits the bill really well for us for the next 10 years, where we won't have to do anything with our top line for him just based on that alone, okay? All right. Now, Duncan Keith, he's the next one. An offensive defenseman. He's 30 years old. Great passing and puck control. Not the best shot in the world, but he's definitely, you could see, a puck-moving defenseman. Offensive awareness 93, defensive awareness 93 as well, and really good speed and acceleration. He's not a shutdown guy, obviously. He's a puck mover on the power play and in the offensive zone. He is our top defenseman going forward. There's no doubt about that. After him is Patrick Kane, and they've actually changed him from a sniper to a playmaker, and I feel like that's a little bit more appropriate for Patrick Kane. So we don't really have a true top-line sniper on our club, so that might be something we go looking after, because the rest of the players I know are two-way forwards. But Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews on that top line, there's your top two pairing going forward, okay? Okay. So, and what's actually, I didn't check his defensive awareness, 84. So he's not the best defensively aware player. Offensively, though, he's huge, so he'll be playing a lot of power play, not much penalty kill with that. Marian Hossa, 89 overall, 34-year-old two-way forward, 88 defensive awareness, 90 offensive awareness. Actually has a pretty good shot, Marian Hossa. Really good shot. Again, not the most physical player in the world. You can see that Chicago Blackhawks have a very athletic team, all right? They're built for speed. Brent Seabrook might be the most physical player on the team, 89 body checking, 88 aggressiveness. He's got 89 defensive awareness. That should be enough to pull him through on that top pairing and be a big shutdown guy on the penalty kill. At 28 years old, he's going to be here for the majority of our Be a GM, but, I mean, there is the off chance that he retires early, and with overalls degrading, Brent Seabrook might be on his way out earlier than some other defenseman based on that, okay? Moving on again, Patrick Sharp, another two-way forward. You know, pretty good shot, pretty good passing and puck control. Not quite as good as Marian Hossa's. Defensive awareness is the same. Again, not a big physical threat, but the guy can skate, and he can pass, and he can play. He can mix it up, and that's the big thing, okay? All right, now more defenseman, Hjalmarsson, 85 overall. He's pretty much maxed out. He's 4 yellow stars, 26 years old. 86 defensive awareness, pretty good for a defensive defenseman considering he's only going to be playing top 4. So you know what, he fits the bill quite well. 88 body checking, okay shot, not the best. He's a good shooter, just to put pucks on net, not necessarily accurate. Pierre-Marc Bouchard, a playmaking left winger, 29 years old. He's one of those guys that's flexible. You know, he's only making how much? $2 million a year? Let's see, yeah, $2 million a year. So his contract is very much affordable. I would put him sooner on the third line playing, giving him the minutes there. I mean, his offensive and defensive awareness are all right. They're good enough to get the job done. In the offensive zone, like, he'll be okay. He'll be an average player. I mean, look, he gets injured a lot. Obviously, injuries are off, so it's not a big deal there. So he can, if he gets the minutes, he will play, and he will produce. Christopher Stieg, a sniper. You know what? He's got pretty much the same shooting categories as Pierre-Marc Bouchard, so I really wouldn't even classify him as a sniper. His physical category, much stronger. Defensive awareness is just a little bit less, and same with the offensive awareness, just a little bit less. At 27 years old, Christopher Stieg is a good second-line sniper or third-line sniper as well. Johnny Oduya, 81 overall, 31 years old. Really does not bring too much to the table. I feel like that there's some stuff out there we could get better than Johnny Oduya to upgrade our bottom pairing defense, but he's all right. He's okay. All right. Michael Roosevelt, two-way defenseman, 81 overall. He's old. He's old. He doesn't really pack much of a punch anymore. He's an all-around guy when you look at it. So he's good for the for a top 6 pairing, so the third pairing defense. But other than that, really not much worth it to him. Brandon Saad. Saad is 20 years old, 4 yellow stars, another two-way forward. He's going to get better. He's somebody that I want playing that third line for sure. I want him there, getting some experience, playing in important minutes. He's not going to get much penalty kill time. He's not going to get much power play time, but he will get some regular ice time on that third line, just playing even strength, and that's important for those young guys. Nick Leddy, an offensive defenseman, 22 years old, 4 green stars. Nick Leddy gets the Norris Trophy almost every year, it seemed before. You'll see that his offensive awareness is 88, defensive awareness 85, really good. Nick Leddy is going to be in the picture for years to come, and I'd actually almost play him alongside Hjalmarsson to give him that experience. All right. Brian Bickle, a 27-year-old power forward. He pretty much just maxed out. 83 defensive awareness, 87 body checking, 88 aggressiveness. The guy is a pretty physical player, and he's making $3.52 million a year, though. That's where Brian Bickle's downfall comes, is in that contract that he received at free agency. So Brian Bickle, I think I'd look to trade him based on that salary cap alone. We've only got 1.365 in cap space, so if we wanted to upgrade anywhere else, you'd be pretty hard pressed to do so. Andrew Shaw is a delight to watch play. He's a small guy, but man, does he grind it up. Plays a very physical brand of hockey. I'd have him on the third or fourth line. He can be flexible that way, and he can play up onto the second line if needed, because, I mean, his offensive categories aren't too bad either. And he's 3.5 green stars as a grinder. It's only 22 years old. He's going to be about an 81, 82 overall grinder when things are all said and done. Peter Regin, I mean, nothing special here. 79 overall center. Really, I mean, it's not the best player to have there. I mean, I would be putting him on the fourth line at the most. And Michael Handzus, too. 79 overall two-way forward. He's got good face-offs, so Handzus could play the fourth line for us. What's the cap hit for him? And he only makes $825,000, you know? So he's definitely a keepable player at that price. I think if we had Handzus, we'd play Regin, or we'd send Regin packing. I know the age difference, but... well, I mean, what's Reagan's defensive awareness? 83, and Handzus' defensive awareness, 84. They're pretty similar. It's just the face-offs. I mean, the fourth line is a revolving door to me. I can easily find guys to replace all these positions very simply through free agency or whatever else. Marcus Kruger, he's a center. He's two-way forward, 78 overall. 70 face-offs, 3.5 yellow stars. I mean, he's going to be better for sure. You're going to see him get to an 82, an 83 overall, depending on how things go for him, Marcus Kruger. Really not the most optimum position for him to be in just based on our center. We have a lot of low overall centers right at the bottom here. Actually, that's the bottom of the NHL list. But we don't have any other high overall centers, just Jonathan Toews, and then there's nobody really, no second-line center on this team. So that's something that we need to address before we get this season started. All right, let's take a look at goalies. Now, we all know the story here. There's Corey Crawford, Antti Ratta, and Nikolai Habibula. Now, Nick has no trade value whatsoever, making 1.45, and he's a worse player than Antti Ratta. Honestly, Antti Ratta should be playing in the minors, so we really don't have a backup that should be playing up here as a backup. Corey Crawford, as a goaltender, is not bad. With Crawford and some of the other assets that we have on like in our system here, we could actually upgrade Crawford for somebody like Carey Price or Tuukka Rask or Jonathan Quick, whoever we wanted. That would be available to us because of Corey Crawford being about just on the cusp of a good enough player as a goaltender. But we could actually upgrade that very, very easily if we coupled him with another player. Now let's take a look at in the system. Now when I sort in the system, it's always by potential. And the one problem, that I knew I was getting into here with Chicago was their system. They don't have much that's really that exciting. Now they've got David Rundblad, another offensive defenseman, 77 overall. 22 years old. He's in the same category as Nick Leddy, He doesn't have the exact same attributes yet. That will get there. But Rundblad is basically a little clone. He's just another offensive defenseman, something that we already have a couple of. So I might change that around and get some more offensive prospects for us. But there's tons of options for us here. I'd like to get at least a 4.5 yellow star forward or defenseman at some point, just to give us some nice depth in our prospect pool. Teuvo Teravainen, he's a center, 75 overall playmaker, 4 yellow stars. So he's not too bad at all. I mean, these are guys that are going to be playing in the AHL right now and are going to be able to come up to the NHL squad and play the second line in the future to replace some of the aging veterans. So Teuvo Teravainen is going to be a good option in the future. Ryan Hartman, who kind of looks like, what's his name? Oh man, I always forget his name when I think about him. It'll come to me. 70 faceoffs, and we know Ryan Hartman is a defensive dream. That defensive awareness gets up to like 99 overall, so he's going to be a huge third line, maybe even second line player for us in the future. Ryan Hartman is going to be around to stay for sure. We look at Clendening here now. He's a two-way defenseman. See, Clendening, 20 years old, 75 overall. And again, a nice, well-rounded player. 80 defensive awareness, 80 offensive awareness. And at 20 years old, this guy's going to be getting to about 85, 86 overall when things are all said and done. In 6 years, that's very, very attainable. Adam Clendening is a very good option for us. And then we get into the 3.5 yellow stars. Mark McNeil, 69 overall at the moment. A center, a power forward. I mean, you can expect him to get to be at about an 82 overall at the most. I mean, well, he's got like 6 years before he maxes out. 7 years now because he's 20. So he's got he doesn't have very far to go in terms of overall. I mean, if you, a yellow star prospect gains about 3 to 4 overall per year. So in 5 years, in 1 year, he'll. Oops, what did I do? The hell did I do? Anyway, McNeil. So by the time he reaches 25, he will go up by by the time he reaches 25, so in 5 years, he'll have gone up basically. Let's err on the side of 3 overall per year. By the time he gets to 25, 3 overall per year times 5 is 15 extra overall points. He's going to be about an 84 overall if he went at that clip. Now, that's not going to happen probably, so he'll probably take about 3 to 4 years before he's maxed out, but he's definitely an option for us. Same Denault, he's another two-way forward. No face-offs here for Philip Denault. Wow, that is a goofy-looking photo for him. What a goofy-looking guy. He's more of, looks like the defensive side than the offensive side. I mean, his passing and puck control are very low, but he's only 68 overall. He's an option for us in the future. Jeremy Morin, a sniper. What's his shot like right now? Pardon me. 81-85 at 87 or 79-86. Those are good. He's going to be a good sniper too in the future. 22 years old though. That could be the only problem. Oh, he's 76 overall though, so we'll keep him around. Theo Peckham, 3.5 yellow stars. 25 years old. Probably won't make it too far. Nordstrom, 21 years old. 73 overall. He's 3.5 yellow. LeBlanc is 3.5 red, and then it kind of peters off here. Now, what do we have for goalies? Nobody really. We've got Brandon Whitney. I know I've had Whitney on a couple other teams. We've also got Ken Simpson. We got Jason LaBarbera in the minors, and honestly, I would call him up before I'd call up Rada. I'd want Rada to be in the minors getting some minutes, so odds are I'll do that with him. So that's the team, guys, in a nutshell. That's what we're looking at here. So obviously, we're an NHL-ready team. We're ready to go for the playoffs. We're not one of those teams that are rebuilding. We got so many options for us. However, we do need one major thing, and that is a sniping forward for the top line. Because somebody said to me people have made comments about it. Me putting the players by player type together, you know, just like it is in HUT. And the main reason why I do that is because a two-way forward usually determines a certain type of player, if you know what I mean. He's a good two-way game. He's got good defensive awareness, good offensive awareness. He can shut guys down, and he can make plays to some degree. Jonathan Toews is that player. He can pass like crazy, though, so he is going to get a ton of points. Now, you look at Patrick Kane. Let's look at his shot. They used to label him as a sniper, but he's not. He's not. He's a playmaker for sure. His passing is so much better than his wrist shot power and accuracy. I would like to see our sniper have, you know, 92, 93 wrist shot accuracy and 92, 93 power. I want that kind of a shooter on that top line. What's available now? I don't know. Oh, we went by potential. Marian Hossa, 88, 87. You know, still not quite there. And if you look at our other option, which would be Patrick Sharp, he's, again, 88, 87 overall. So, we have some options here for dealing. Now, if we wanted to get that sniper and we wanted to flush, we need a second line center as well. Like, you know what? From here, we're going to go to coaching options. We'll take a look at the lines, all right? So, these are the lines. I did move them around a little bit so it would look a little bit more accurate to what would be happening for the next year. Patrick Sharp, here's where we have the problem here is center. Bouchard he's got okay face-offs, like he could play if we wanted him to, but I would like to get a natural center there. Christopher Stieg is a sniper. He's not bad. We looked at him before. He's a good option too. So let's put him here. So that leaves us with Sharp and Hossa. Now, if we can make a trade that sent Patrick Sharp and Marian Hossa for a top-line sniper and a second-line, maybe two-way forward, that might be a bit more appropriate, because there is an embarrassment of riches here with the 4 first-line players. We have too many. So if we could combine 2 first-line players for 1 first-line player and a second-line player, that would be really nice. And another two-way forward would give us a nice option. Now, if we put like this, Bouchard in his actual spot, I would want a playmaking player here. So another playmaker, perhaps. Somebody with really good passing. So we have to look at that. We have to look at those options. On defense, we're pretty much set. I'd actually put Letty. We'll do it like that. All right. Perfect. That's what I'd want for that defense. And then goaltending was another option we were looking at, was Crawford and Ranta. So we might have to move that around a little bit here between Crawford or upgrade the goaltending. But I feel like with our defense being so solid and our goaltending being not bad, we could probably survive with what we've got. But we do need to look to the future too. All right. So let me just take a look. Who's got a really good shot on our team? Or who's available that has a really good shot at this point in time. So let's go trade negotiations. We'll go to the trading block. And we are looking for a first-line forward. Anywhere up to, we'll say anywhere up to 33. Sure. And we need our shooting to be 5 stars. Alright? That's the most important thing. So who's got 5-star shot? Alright. This is what we're looking at here. They're all centers. Did I choose just center? No. Okay, why is it just centers right now? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Hold on. Clear. Let's try putting it back in here. Forward. First line forward. 5-star shooting. Let's try it again. There we go. That's much better. Gets the left wings in here. So, like, Alexander Ovechkin. 94 wrist shot accuracy, 95 power. But we don't even need somebody like Ovechkin because he's going to command a lot of salary. Like, Taylor Hall's an option. I mean, he's still not as good a shooter as Patrick Kane, but he is an option for us because he is getting better. He's young, and he fits that top bill quite nice. Rick Nash, 90-90. James Neal, 91-89. He's a power forward, but it doesn't matter. I'm looking for a guy that can score, you know? James Neal can score. Daniel Sedin, no. Thomas Vanek has a 90-90. But the best, who's got the best wrist shot accuracy? Let's take a look at that. Where it's going to be right at the end, isn't it? Wrist shot accuracy. Who's got the highest? It's Alex Ovechkin and Steven Stamkos. Malkin's also got a really good one. Phil Kessel also has a really good one. Phil the Thrill. A right winger. I'd prefer a left winger, but who's got the highest wrist shot power? Ovechkin. Gaborik's got a good shot too. He's only 86 overall though, Marian Gaborik. He's dropped quite a bit. He'd be a good second line option, and it's because the trade value is so low. So, like, Alex Ovechkin is the the sniper of choice here, you know? He's the best. What's his cap hit like? $9.4 million. So let's just throw him out there. Let's just say Alex Ovechkin, all right? Now, if we were to give up Patrick Sharp and Marian Hossa, all right, for Alexander Ovechkin, they pretty much equal him. We wouldn't be able to get much back in terms of a second-line player. They don't even have that many centers. Grabovski, 80 face-offs. Mikhail Grabovski, 86 passing, 86 puck control. And what's his cap hit? Like 2.905. We couldn't trade because of the cap hit. They don't want to get rid of Grabovski either. They would take Patrick Sharp, but not Marian Hossa. So I think Alex Ovechkin is out for that. But that's what I'm talking about, guys. So I'm going to leave it like that. Give me some suggestions on who you think we should pick up in terms of a top-line sniper that can score. Right, we're looking for a good shooter, and then we'll look further on to fleshing out our second line in that same deal. So try to keep that in mind, and you guys can experiment with your own rosters because they're current with what I've got now. We're not 10 years in the future, right? You know what I mean? So I'll leave it at that, guys. Until next time, I'm Target Audience, and I'll catch you guys out on the ice.